So we're here with episode 2 of our video blog with Vital Energy and FANSHOEs. We're here at Spot Coffee, our usual place. And so this week we're going to be covering promotion and marketing. And we're going to give like an example of each, what it pertains to us as a new startup, as well as why it's important for our companies and how we're different.
Right, so we're going to start this one off, and first we're going to talk about guerrilla marketing. Basically, as startup companies, we're both relying heavily on guerrilla marketing because it's cheap, it's free, it's really fun to do for us, and people generally have a good reception to it. A couple of the first things we went after colleges, and we put up signs. Basically, the idea behind guerrilla marketing is do cheap stuff that gets people looking at it and gets the product across. Right here, you can see this is an example of something we put up on bulletin boards. Yeah.
The idea behind it is you want to draw someone in who actually is looking for something functional, especially on a college campus, like offering money, talking about sex, talking about girls, talking about a roommate, and then you end up drawing them in and talking about the product. And it's easy for us because it's free. It costs us the money for printing and paper. And it draws the person in, and then it's kind of funny and quirky, and they remember it, and they leave kind of wanting to know about the product itself.
And along the same lines, on college campuses, at places like Spot Coffee where we're at, we have urinal stickers, we call it. Because what's the best place, what's the only place you can get someone's attention, keep their attention, and make sure they read your thing? It's when they're peeing in the urinal, because you are focused on that urinal. You can stare at a wall. You're not going to look to the sides or down, I promise.
It's your junk or the wall that you're looking at.
So
something else you need is a lot of visual. This is a little muscle man that we've come up with for some of our posters and point of sales. And same thing, you just need something that's consistent and draws people into the product. So you want something goofy, quirky, especially for our target demographic. It needs to be entertaining, because if it's boring or standard image or advertisement, we're not going to pay attention to it. We skip half of them anyway.
Right.
So
branding.
All right, basically, we could talk about the Student Ambassador Program. We enacted that program, I guess, with FANSHOEs through my experience with Red Bull. I was a student brand manager, and it was pretty neat. You know, they gave you the product, and they gave you some flexibility to go out and just push it and spread the brand name. Basically, what we've done is at Mississippi State's campus, we have someone there, Taylor Herges. It's gone well with her, that's for sure. We went down on a trip, and she was able to introduce us to a lot of good people and able to help us network with people that normally we wouldn't have been able to go there and do on our own. But all in all, I think that for both companies, Vital's cause as well as ours, the student brand manager is a huge opportunity. They're the eyes and ears. That's what we're banking on with Taylor, is telling us if there's this big game coming up, where that big tailgate's going to be, or what stores there are that should be carrying this, things like that we wouldn't normally know without being there. So.
And kind of like what you mentioned with going to the campus you've only been once so far, something that you're going to learn is you have to go back again and again. Everyone has ADD, no matter what you say or do. Brand loyalty is really hard to get, especially at the beginning. So even for us, we visited RIT that first time. We letter bombed them with flyers and everything. It worked, but it faded very quickly. And same thing for you guys. It's going to take a couple of trips. Right. It's probably going to take 2, 3, 4 trips before it really starts catching on. Along with that, also with promotions and marketing, be creative. Kind of follow what works. Like Red Bull Vitamin Water for us, they've played a lot of the tricks in the book. So it's okay to mimic some of those, but be really creative. Something we've learned is when we have empty bottles, especially after a sampling, an empty bottle in the garbage isn't useful to anyone. But if you leave it in a library on a table, someone's got to pick it up to throw it in the garbage for you. That's another impression. Leave it outside of a dorm. Leave it.
We're all about litter.
No, not litter. Not litter.
We don't litter. We put it near the garbage can. We put it near the garbage can. We mix. Put it on top.
Recycling.
Well, someone's got to take it. Recycle. Someone's got to take it off the recycling bin and put it in there. And they saw it. So to summarize, guerrilla marketing, student ambassadors, FANSHOEs, Vital Energy,
and
free.
Don't
be
afraid to get creative and get in trouble with your promotions. So
trouble is good sometimes.
Trouble on 3. Trouble on 3.
1, 2, 3, trouble.
So that's basically it for us this time. Our website again, thevitalenergy.com. Feel free to comment on our Facebook page, follow our blog, our Twitter, blah blah blah, all that nonsense.
And everything he said for us too.
I can say better.
Or myfanshoes.com.
And
We'll see you Friday.
For next week, I think what we're going to be doing.
There you go. Perfect.
Next week, what I think we're going to be covering is the importance of networking and meeting people, because you never know what doors that may or may not open.